Alana, let me welcome you this morning because this is the end of the third year that you've been with us, and you've made significant contributions in terms of the information that you've given us. And I think that we've said on a number of occasions that we really don't take responsibility for any of these topics because primarily you are the origin of the real topics, and it was your idea in terms of dealing with a number of topics, and we've always had quite a bit of success in terms of dealing with the topic. But today's topic, the Stonewall riots and the LBGT movement
in
today's world is rather a very unusual topic, and I want you to sort of deal with that. But before we do that, let's get some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of eventually leading you to us this morning, and then we'll start talking about the Stonewall riots.
Well, as you've already said, my name is Alana McLaughlin. I am 11 years old. I am in 7th grade at John Early Museum Magnet Middle School. I play trumpet in the school's band. I'm also a cheerleader, and I'm heavily involved in my church, and I am also an alumna of the Junior National Young Leaders Conference that I recently attended June 1st through the 6th. Also this summer I attended SCATS, which is the summer camp for academically talented students at Western Kentucky University, where I stayed in the dorms for 2 weeks and took classes throughout the campus. Now, I got involved in the show back in 2010, and so as you said, this is kind of wrapping up my third year. We have one episode after this. And so that's a bit about me.
Very good. And Lana, let me tell you that the information that we want you to give us this morning is, as we indicated, purely information that you're bringing forth to us and that we had absolutely nothing to do. I'm presenting what we might call a disclaimer in terms of what you're about to deliver to us. But start us off by talking about the movement itself, the Stonewall riots and events that are associated with that riot.
Well, as you said earlier, this is an unusual topic. The reason I decided to talk about this, actually to talk about the Stonewall riots, was because I previously missed all of your June tapings for the show, and I originally had planned to talk about Stonewall because the anniversary of Stonewall is June 28th. And so when I was at Western Kentucky, I missed it. And so I was like, well, even though it's a little bit after the anniversary of it, I should still talk about it and get it out there because not a lot of people know what really started the LGBT movement here in America. It started with these riots, this series of riots. And so basically the Stonewall riots were a series of spontaneous violent demonstrations by members of the gay community against a police raid that took place in the early morning hours of June 28th, 1969 at the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village, which is a neighborhood in New York City. They are widely considered to constitute the single most important event leading to the gay liberation movement and the modern fight for gay and lesbian rights in the United States. Very few establishments welcome openly gay people in the 50s and 60s around that time. Those that did were often bars, although bar owners and managers were rarely gay. At the time, the Stonewall Inn was not a lot of people know this. At the time, the Stonewall Inn was owned by the American Mafia. It catered to an assortment of patrons and was known to be popular among the poorest and most marginalized people in the gay community. Drag queens, representatives of a newly self-aware transgender community, effeminate young men, male prostitutes, and homeless youth. Police raids on gay bars were routine in the 60s, but officers quickly lost control of the situation at the Stonewall Inn. They attracted a crowd that incited to riot.
Go on.
Well, and so basically, in me saying that, I'm giving a bit of background so I can talk about it more in the second topic of the show, well, the second segment. And so I wanted to give you a bit of background, and so I can give my commentary on how if this needs to be more out there and how more people need to know about this.
Very good. And of course, Alana, what we'll do, we'll take this first commercial break, and then we'll come back and allow you to pick up with the information that you're given. And I think that the information that you're given is very instructive. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.